Ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at right now is the bladder of a pig in a mason jar. It's been sitting here for several days and it's getting quite rank. So I decided I should do something about it. So today I will. Now you may wonder how I ended up with a pig's bladder. Although detectives have not yet arrived to inspect the crime scene, Stefania and her family maintain that the pig had been severely depressed for several weeks and ultimately committed suicide. Suicide? Perhaps. But I smell something foul in the air. Could it have been murder? I wanted to experiment with the bladder because I had read that until the early 17th century, the glass was very expensive and not commonplace, and instead people used oiled parchment paper, for example, horn, and they also used the bladders of pigs in the window panes. So that's what I wanted to take a look at today. We're not going to play with it today, but I am going to try to I'm going to experiment at opening it up and seeing exactly how I could get the bladder to be a flat sheet to be put in the window. I'm not going to put it in the window. I just want to see what the material looks like once it's dried. It looks like something's inside. This is going to be the first time I touch it. Ready? Well, I think it's just filled with water after soaking in water for so long. So I'm going to have to open it up. Okay, I've already, as it sat here for a couple of minutes, water was just oozing out, and I actually had to drain it. So here we go. This is really gross. Okay, it's definitely a sack. This seems to be the hole. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you'd want to see that, but I'll do it anyway. It seems to be the hole for the bladder. And in order to open it up, I'm going to have to slice off this first part of it. So let's go ahead and do that. So here, I can get my fingers in it. And this is the bladder. So what I want to do is to slice it open. And I think I'm going to have to scrape off some of this membrane on top. Believe it or not, I actually looked at a video on YouTube about pigs' bladders. So that's what they did. They kind of scraped it a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here. I want to be very careful. I don't want to ruin the bladder. But I do want to get rid of this excess membrane. Maybe I can't. Actually, it's proving very, like an integral part of the bladder. Why else would it be here? So, sticking in my life, and this is a very sharp knife, by the way. As you can see, that bladder is... I wish my bladder was this strong. There, I just turned it inside out. Look, I can make a sock puppet. What? What's wrong? Okay. But for it to be usable, it has to be flat. So I'm going to try to follow this. There seems to be a seam. Sorry. You know what? Instead of using a knife, I think what might be easier is to use the kitchen shears. Which are working not very well. But it is kind of cutting through. What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to continue up this seam. And then I'm going to end right there for the moment. Just cutting off this little excess, which seemed to be part of the connector rather than the actual bladder. I'm not even sure if I should be doing that cutting. I don't know. I've never done this before. But as I'm scraping it, you can see it's stretching. And becoming thinner. Okay, it is getting thinner. I can see light through it. Remember, what was her name from Romper Room? I think it was Romper Room. She'd look into her magic bladder and say, "I see Tommy." She never said Tommy. She said all the other kids' names. I see Claudia, and I see Maddie. I see Terry. I see Joel. Not really. I don't see anyone. So I'm still stretching it out. And as I'm doing it, it's kind of buckling over here. And I don't know if I can correct that by stretching it the other direction. Maybe. It looks, perhaps yes. Well, I don't know if I should be stretching it out anymore or not. Something tells me I should, and something tells me I shouldn't. So, I'm going to do it. Oh, now as I'm doing this, actually this is the right thing to do because look, I don't know if you can see how much bigger the piece got as I'm running my sharp knife against it. I'm not breaking into the tissue at all. Well, I probably am breaking some of the membranes, which is allowing it to stretch. Okay, well this really gets tedious, doesn't it? And then when I pick it up, it goes back into its original shape. Okay, I think what's going to need to happen is that this baby is going to need to dry. So this is what I have so far. This would do one window max. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it outside and let it dry overnight. Then we're going to come back and see what we have and see what I can do to it. See you later.